Mary Poppins.
Oh, of course. Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins. Is that your name?
That's her name. And here's the behind-the-scenes story of the making of Walt Disney's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious masterpiece.
Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
Mary Poppins, which was filmed on this soundstage, was the studio's triumph of special effects, animation, and live action. It also won 5 Oscars, more than any single Disney film had before or since. But those of us who worked on the film, and all of us who have come to love it, know it was the story beneath the special effects that turned the movie into an enduring classic.
In a way, Mary Poppins is the culmination of Walt's career, in that it draws on everything he'd learned how to do, blending animation and live action, integrating songs with story, and of course, not the least, his great eye for talent. Because after all, he's the one who brought Julie Andrews to Hollywood for the first time to make this film.
What many people don't realize is that Walt Disney's interest in Mary Poppins dated back to 1939. Mary Poppins had been published in 1934 and was wildly popular in England. Walt's brother Roy Disney began negotiations with the author, P.L. Travers, in 1944, while Travers was living in New York to escape the Nazi bombings of London. Many years went by, but the tenacious Mrs. Travers finally released the film rights to the equally determined Mr. Disney in 1961.
Mary Poppins is a live musical fantasy. The whole story is carried out by live actors. And it's, of course, we have a lot of tricks of the trade here that we incorporated into Mary Poppins.
Instead of giving the book to a screenwriter or animation director, Walt first called upon songwriters to look at Mary Poppins.
Our songwriters, Dick and Bob Sherman.
The Sherman brothers had started working for Walt, doing incidental songs. But when he came to them and proposed Mary Poppins, this was again on a different plateau. He knew it, and he made them know it too. He got them involved in helping to build the story. The songs came out of the story, and the story led to the songs. And it was a perfect integration of music and storytelling.
One day Walt handed us a book, and it was Mary Poppins, and he said, read it and tell me what you fellas think about it.
We circled 6 chapters.
An amazing thing happened.
Walt opened his copy of the book, and he had circled the same 6 chapters.
What a feeling.
The Sherman brothers set to work with storyman Don DeGrati, who developed their story ideas through drawings.
Don DeGrati came in one day with a sketch of a little chimney sweep carrying his brooms and whistling. And I said, this is a song.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Good luck, we're above when I shake hands with you.
In casting the pivotal role of the Magic Nanny, a bright young musical star caught Walt's eye.
It's Julie Andrews, incomparable Broadway star of My Fair Lady in Camelot.
How did you pick Julie for the part? Well, I went to New York and I caught the performance of Camelot. Of course, I'd heard the records and things, but it was Camelot that I saw her in. And then I went backstage and I tried to talk her into the thing, and I tried to convince her I was capable of making a picture with live actors as well as cartoons. I didn't know what she thought of me and everything. I think I put on quite an act there that night, didn't I?
Rest, Walt. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
When you see Julie Andrews and Mary Poppins, she's so perfect. She's so wonderful. You wonder how anybody could have turned her down for anything. And yet, the great irony was that was the same year that My Fair Lady came to the screen. And that was the role that she had made her own on Broadway. But Jack Warner of Warner Brothers passed her by for the movie. He didn't think that she was movie material.
In a casting choice that many critics thought odd, Walt chose All-American Dick Van Dyke as Mary Poppins' Cockney companion, Bert.
Well, it's my 3rd motion picture, but the best one I've ever been in, the best one I ever will be in if I live to be 150 years old.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary.
Mary makes your heart so light.
You haven't changed a bit, have you?
Dick Van Dyke was known by then as the star of his weekly TV comedy series, and he was wonderful in it. But he'd already been on Broadway as a musical comedy star in Bye Bye Birdie, and Mary Poppins let him show all his talents. A natural dancer, a wonderful singer, a man of just tremendous charm and presence.
Child actors Karen Dotris and Matthew Garber, who had starred in Disney's Three Lives of Thomasina, were cast as the Banks children, Jane and Michael.
We better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky. She's wonderful.
Film and stage star Glynis Johns was cast as the suffragette Mrs. Banks.
I don't think we need bother the police, dear. The facts of the matter...
Kindly do not attempt to cloud the issue with facts.
Prim British actor David Tomlinson joined Mary Poppins as Mr. Banks. Disney favorite Ed Wynn made a cameo appearance as Uncle Albert. And the role of the Birdwoman was played by Jane Darwell, best known for her role as Ma Jode in The Grapes of Wrath. Mary Poppins was her last film. But establishing a distinguished human cast for Mary Poppins was only half the job. There was an animated cast of co-stars too, and all of these actors had to perform together in a fantasy world.
Combining actors and animated characters allowed you to create scenes and situations that could never happen in real life. Long before Roger Rabbit was just a gleam in an animator's eye, Walt Disney was experimenting with a way to place people in an animated world. This rare silent film was made in 1923. Live action and animation came together in seamless perfection in a film that became a classic. Thank you. Menu hasn't changed in 25 years. You've put on a little weight, though, Max. Looking at that scene from Mary Poppins, you must be asking yourself one of two questions. How did they put Julie and me in that scene? Or when did Van Dyke's hair turn white? We'll attack these one at a time. First, the dashing young performer is filmed dancing in front of a neutral background. Next, pencil sketches of the animated characters are created as a guide. The penguins and the background are fully animated. And finally, the elements are combined.
It's a jolly old day with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
The warm and nostalgic London settings for Mary Poppins were also created by Movie Magic, entirely at the Disney studio.
In the 50s, Walt had also acquired the services of a very talented painter named Peter Ellenshaw, who became the undisputed master of the matte painting, which is a painting on glass. You paint on a piece of glass that's then positioned in front of the camera. When the camera looks at the painting and there's a piece of glass left open, the piece of glass that's clear sees the actual set and combines it with the painting.
I painted a view of the city of London at late afternoon, and the sun had already gone down in the painting. And behind the glass, because I painted it on glass, as I had on this one, made little holes in the paint so that we could put lights back of it, and the lights would all come on gradually all over the city, or appear to.
In many ways, Mary Poppins was Peter Ellenshaw's masterpiece as well as Walt's, because he painted 102 glass paintings, and they're just brilliant. You know, the cast never left Burbank. Not only didn't they ever leave Burbank, they never set foot outdoors. They never went outside a soundstage. And yet this film takes place on the rooftops of London, in the skies over London, in a variety of fanciful settings, and many of those settings were made possible and tangible by Ellenshaw's great artistry.
Even Walt's newest technology, audio animatronics, had a featured role in Mary Poppins.
This is a little robin that we had in Mary Poppins. And this little bird sang a duet with Julie Andrews.
Mark Brayo and Dee Dee Wood, who had assisted legendary choreographer Michael Kidd, were brought on to direct the dancing, not only of the principal cast, but of chimney sweeps, bank executives, and even penguins.
Mary Poppins, get me going!
In this rare, never-before-seen footage, the chimney sweeps rehearsed the lively step-in-time number in the summer heat on the Disney backlot. Choreographer Dee Dee Wood stands in for Julie Andrews. This raucous routine was suggested by Englishman Peter Ellenshaw and based on a traditional British pub dance, Knees Up, Mother Brown.
Walt came, sat down, all right, what are you going to do? I said, well, this is dance that I learned in England, Walt, and it was a kind of cool audience. So it's called Knees Up, Mother, and you link arms and you dance across the room.
Step in time! Step in time! Step in time! Come on, ladies, step in time! Mary Poppins, step in time!
All through 1964, every soundstage at the Disney studio bustled with the production of Mary Poppins.
I never saw a sad face around the studio. This made me nervous. Then the horrible thought struck me. Suppose the staff had finally conceded that I knew what I was doing.
This rare outtake exemplifies the happy mood of the Mary Poppins production.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. When you're with a sweep, you're in glad company.
Nowhere is there a more happier crew
than them what sings chim chim chiree, chim chiroo.
Fire! Light up the sky. It's the entertainment thrill of a lifetime.
While Mary Poppins was in production, Disney geared up one of the largest and most enthusiastic promotional campaigns in the history of the studio.
Mary Poppins, the fabulous adventures of the world's most charming and delightfully eccentric heroine.
In grand Hollywood style, Mary Poppins met the world.
Tonight, all of Hollywood awaits the world premiere of Walt Disney's Mary Poppins. Here in the forecourt of the renowned Grauman's Chinese Theater, there's a surge of excitement. Famous stars are cheered by the crowds.
Critics greeted the film with raves, unlike any seen at Disney since Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. In 1965, Mary Poppins was honored with 13 Academy Award nominations and went on to win 5 Oscars, including Best Actress, for the woman who wasn't considered movie material, Julie Andrews.
Oh, this is lovely. I know you Americans are famous for your hospitality, but this is really ridiculous.
In 1991, Julie Andrews was honored at the Disney studio as a Disney legend.
Mary Poppins was the first film I ever made. Walt was kind enough to bring me to Hollywood, and it was the best learning experience I could ever have had. Apart from anything else, it taught me how to fly.